come on in. It's been a while since we talked, so grab a seat. Let's have a toy side chat. Hello friends and welcome to Toy Side Chat. My name is Rob and this is the show where I talk about channel news and the ins and outs of my life while being surrounded by toys. Not a big shocker because 90% of the content on this channel is about toys. And of course it would not be a laundry room production without the washing machine going into the spin cycle. I swear, that is the bane of my existence, but it keeps it true, and yeah, we really are in a laundry room. It's not just a shtick, it's a way of life. Anyway, spin cycle aside, there's a few things I'd like to talk about this month. First being this show. I know it's been a few months since I did it, and it used to be kind of a monthly fixture towards the end of last year. Anyway, I dropped the ball, and I have not done any episodes of Toy Side Chat in 2022. The simple explanation for that is, like I said earlier, I overanalyze, and I overthink things. Now, the whole reason I even started this show, and wanted to do it every month, was to have an open line of communication with all of you viewing, and to be completely transparent in my comings and goings with the channel. Now, I know that sounds completely silly, but I feel like I owe it to all the viewers and all the subscribers because you guys have been there for me, watching and commenting and hopefully enjoying, and I want to be there for you to just let you know where we're going with this channel and ask for your feedback on some things. So, what was I overanalyzing and overthinking about this show? Well, let me tell you. I had a different vision for this show for 2022. I was going to hit the ground running in January by making this a weekly show. I planned on releasing it every Monday, and on those Mondays I would talk about the different entertainment I would have consumed throughout the week, different video games I was playing that I wanted to talk about, different dork news in general, and yeah, just the thought of that filled me with anxiety, but I kind of didn't want to let go of that idea. Even though I'm horrible at reviewing things, I'm horrible at gathering news because stuff just zips by me and I don't even realize it. And I don't get to play video games as much as I want to because my kids are always on the consoles. So with those things not being the greatest of topics for me to talk about, like I said, I just didn't want to give up on that thought process. And it took me a while to shake it and just say, screw it, let's go back to doing this monthly. Now this show isn't very popular at all, but like I said, it is an open conduit I would like to have with all of you out there. And just being myself, just talking, being just completely transparent, like I said, about the channel. And yeah, it's just a good place for me to gather feedback, gather ideas from my own head and put them out there in the universe and things like that. And of course, like I said, overthink and overanalyze everything. But with it being said that this show isn't very popular, I do a lot of things that aren't super popular, but I have fun doing them. And at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. Me having fun. And thankfully, there's some of you out there that are along for the journey and having fun too. So I thank you for that. Because we hit a subscriber milestone. I mean, to some, it's small potatoes, but to me, it is huge. We have reached over 1,700 subscribers, and I'm just flabbergasted by that. When I first started this show, which was vastly different back in the dark ages, I could have never have dreamed of having that many subscribers. And it means so much because with that many subscribers, I know you're just tuning in to me because I have no bells or whistles or any outlandish pranks or special effects or anything crazy like that. It's just me talking to you about stuff we all like. And thank you so much for that. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, you have no idea how much that means to me. But I don't like to focus on that because those aren't the numbers I'm looking for. What I look for are the comments. Yes, I know I have been horribly recently, like for the past 6 months, at answering you guys and gals back on the comment section. And I'm trying my hardest, but life has just been so crazy these past few months, and to nail down time to do that has just been hard to come by. And believe me, I want to give you the time and attention and respect to answer your comments that you gave to me by leaving them. So I promise one day I will clear out my queue of all unanswered comments and life will be glorious. But until that day, please forgive me and just know that, yeah, it's always in the back of my mind to answer back to you guys because it means so much to me. Yeah, and while we're talking about things I should be doing, yeah, I think it's just something that happens with age, but time just seems to disappear. I mean, it just seems like I wake up, go to work, run my kids to different places, make dinner, and next thing I know, I'm passing out in bed to do the whole thing over again. With that being said, I want to apologize to an awesome cat that wanted to do a collab of sorts, and last time I talked to him, it was going to be, yeah, next time I do a Toy Side chat, yeah, we're going to show the awesome project you've been working on, and we're going to talk about it. So between the whole vapor lock of what I wanted to do with this show, and the fact of me being completely, internet illiterate when it comes to, the whole video calling and things like that, I dropped the ball, and I apologize so much. I will be answering back your email, and I know it's been a few months, and honestly, it has been on my mind every day to write you back. But like I said, the day just gets away from me, and it's just another thing that goes on to the next day's to-do list, which just keeps growing and growing and growing, and yeah, I apologize. While I'm at the point of apologizing, there's one more thing I'd like to apologize for. Now, this is more of an apology to the almighty YouTube algorithm, because some of you cats and kittens out there don't seem to mind. But for the big scheme of the YouTube universe, I'm doing a huge faux pas, and that is making really long videos. I don't know what happened. It's a trend that started ever since I came back from the holiday hiatus that I took. I took a couple weeks off, and when I came back, it just seems like I'm in the mood to talk. And we'll get to that in a second. But yeah, I just think once I start diving into some of these topics, I just start throwing in different anecdotes and trivia and background stuff to these things we talk about. And yeah, I enjoy doing it. I enjoy the research of it. And like I said, I mean, plenty of you guys seem to enjoy it because our subscriber number keeps going up, which is amazing. But like I said, to the almighty YouTube algorithm gods, it's a no-no. They like things being very neat and quick, and yeah, to appeal to that, quick entertainment buzz that people seem to thrive on nowadays. And I do too. I'm not saying I'm immune to it. So, again, I apologize to anyone out there that doesn't seem to like it, and I apologize to the YouTube gods for not liking my long run times. Now to the point where I said I'd get to that in a minute. And it is about one of the reasons I talk so much. Now, I gave a couple good reasons just a few seconds ago, but I think one of the biggest reasons is I really don't have an outlet in my normal real life to talk about this stuff. I mean, yeah, there's a few people like at work that I can talk about some of these things with, but yeah, they're a little bit younger than me and they don't, understand a lot of what I'm talking about. And of course, the hustle and bustle of married life, having kids, it's not like I can just sit down and go, hey, do you remember what toys were awesome in 1986? No one in my house cares. But these are topics that bounce around in my head, and I just need to get them out there and share them, and it makes me feel good, and I think it makes a few of you feel good out there, and yeah, that's just an awesome relationship we have. So, with that being said, I want to say thank you again for allowing me to have this outlet. And yeah, it's great to, talk about these things, but it is so awesome to read your comments talking about, your lives then, your lives now, and how these things impact you. It's just so awesome to have this community with all of you. Anyway, there's one more thing I would love to talk about before we wrap things up, and that is Raddest Rides. Now, Raddest Rides was an episode that I did last month talking about some of the most awesome and raddest vehicles in the action figure world of the 80s. This was an episode that I loved doing, and it seemed like some of you really enjoyed it as well. One of the things that I've been having a blast doing is researching these toys. And, just to tell you where I'm at in that process, I am 220 vehicles in, and I'm probably about halfway done. I mean, just the sheer amount of awesome action figure vehicles of the 80s, there's so many of them. And to be honest with you, that Raddest Rides episode was just Plastic Ghosts with a different name. Kind of talking about these forgotten vehicles for action figures. Now, a while ago, I was doing vehicle episodes that focused on a trait that different 80s vehicles all shared. And that was a lot of fun. I think I did 3 or 4 of them, kind of scattered throughout the year, last year or the year before, or what have you. And I had a lot of fun with that, but the whole idea of finding traits that they have in common got kind of tiresome. And I was trying to come up with episodes and, doubting myself that sounds really dumb or that isn't yielding the results that I want. So I kind of threw that to the side and have relaunched it as Raddest Rides. And these are just 5 random, awesome vehicles. I love talking about forgotten toys, and I'm having a blast with these forgotten vehicles. And with that being said, I think I'm going to make Raddest Rides a new monthly episode for Nostalgia Syndrome from here on out. Like I said, I'm only halfway done and I have over 220 different vehicles. That's not even including, because I haven't added them to the list yet, G.I. Joe vehicles, Star Wars vehicles, or anything from popular franchises. So far, these are just one-off small toy lines that yielded some pretty awesome vehicles. Hey folks, sorry to interrupt and for making this episode even longer than it really needs to be. Sorry about that. But while we're on the subject of potential monthly shows and things I have fun with, I would like to potentially add this episode to the list. And that is reading 80s kids books dramatically. I had so much fun doing that He-Man one a month ago, 2 months ago, however long it's been, that I think it would be really fun to do that as a monthly feature as well. And believe me, I have enough 80s kids books for many, many months. So look out for that soon. Anyway, let me know what you think about, making that a monthly title here at the channel. So anyway, back to the other crap I was talking about. Anyway, I've kept you long enough. Like I said, long episodes, and I apologize. So let me know what you guys think about doing Raddest Rides as a new monthly feature here at the channel under the Nostalgia Syndrome banner. Anyway, thanks for letting me talk, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you got something to say, please leave a comment. I love reading them, and I will get back to you. And if you're new around here and you enjoyed this or any of the episodes that YouTube is recommending down here, please hit subscribe and hit that little bell icon. You will be notified whenever there's a new episode. So, until next time, thanks for watching. Keep being rad and stay dorky.